Tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Corona, who brings you the best in boxing, and these two certainly are set to go. They are in the ring right now here at Hialeah Park, and Ray Flores has our official fighter introductions. Tonight's Tale of the Tape, again, brought to you by Corona, who brings you the best in boxing. Erislandy Lara, 74-inch reach. That is a 2-inch reach advantage over Yuri Foreman. Erislandy Lara widely considered to be one of the pound-for-pound best in the world. And we have official fighter introductions coming down right now from Ray Flores. Let's take it over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Hialeah Park here in Miami, Florida, Premier Boxing Champions now features the main event. Live on Spike, 12 rounds for the Super Welterweight Championship. The three judges ringside are Richard Green, Gloria Martinez, and Rourke Young. Your referee in charge when the bell sounds, Sam Burgos. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks. His professional record, 34 wins, 10 of those coming by way of knockout against 2 losses. Joining us from Brooklyn, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the challenger, Yuri Foreman. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the colors of Cuban. As a professional, 23 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Houston, Texas by way of Guantanamo, Cuba. He is the Super Welterweight Champion, Erislandy the Dream Lara.
All right, gentlemen, remember, we gave the instruction in the back, obey my commands at all times. Right here is going to be a fair punch, you understand? You have any questions? You have any questions? If not, gentlemen, the time is now. Touch him up, come out of the bell.
Our main event is going to take place under the unified rules of boxing. No 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the ref can stop the fight, and in the case of an accidental foul, it will go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. Here we go. It's the main event. Yuri Foreman, Erislandy Lara, round number 1. In Miami, here we go.
What you want to look for early is, can Yuri Foreman make Erislandy Lara uncomfortable? Because when he's comfortable, he's at boxing range, man, he's hard to beat. One thing we didn't have room for in the tail of the tape is maybe an asterisk by those 2 losses. Very, very, very controversial. The Paul Williams loss, you just have to say a straight out robbery. All 3 judges were suspended for that fight. And then, of course, Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people thought Erislandy Lara won that fight. So, for all practical, he's close to being undefeated.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, when we were talking with Lara in his camp earlier this week, they said they were very confident they won that fight against Canelo. Would love a rematch, but in order to get the rematch, he's got to come out tonight and he's got to put on a show. I mean, no one wants to have that reputation of a fighter that fights safe and manages to just get the victory. You want somebody who's going to come out and put on a show, and Lara is looking to do that tonight.
I don't know what. He can do whatever he wants. He ain't seeing Canelo again. You can forget that. You can forget.
He can knock yours head into the stands. Unlikely that fight would happen.
I mean, the guy is just sometimes, you get a guy with a difficult style. He's just too good for his own good, Jimmy. And a lot of fighters just don't want to take that chance. It's not the fighter. It's his handlers. The guys that are there paid to protect their interests.
It's a tough place to be in combat sports, as being a guy who's technically great, but doesn't have the fan demand, have the fan popularity. It's easy to avoid those guys. And fighters, and like you said, promoters and handlers will avoid that guy. It's a tough place to be.
What he's going to have to do is just outweight them, continue to win until there's nobody else left. He's going to have to eliminate all these guys. And unfortunately, he has 2 champions that are in the same camp as him. The Charlo brothers, and with the same trainer running ships.
The tough part is he might have to go to middleweight, go up and down the scale to find that big fight. Right now, Yuri Foreman staying in the pocket, not looking intimidated, not landing big yet.
We haven't seen much of Yuri Foreman lately, but last time we saw him, we know this guy's tough as nails. He has some ability. We just haven't seen him in a while. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table tonight.
Yeah, only 2 fights in the past 2 years. He is a former WBA super welterweight champion himself, though, so he's been in these big moments before. He's just been focused on things outside of the ring for the past couple of years. So will he be able to continue tonight and really put the pressure on Lara? We'll find out as round number 2 continues in just a moment from Miami. And welcome back to Hialeah Park in Miami. This is our main event, the WBA Super Welterweight Championship. 12 rounds scheduled in this one, and Jimmy, you said many times before that Erislandy Lara is one of the pound-for-pound best in the world. He has a great style that he's very difficult to pin down. But as you mentioned, champ, Yuri Foreman right in there so far through 1 round.
Most definitely.
Hey, can we get this off the ring? Gentlemen, don't hold him. Stop. Yuri, watch your head, okay? Let's go.
In the fighters meeting, Yuri came in with the right attitude. He says, no one expects me to win this fight. I have no pressure on me to perform. So that's when you can sneak up on a guy and really shock the world by doing something that no one thinks you can do.
Well, we talked about how he's had a significant layoff, and we were chatting with him earlier this week. He said part of it was just general fatigue. He'd been doing this for a long time. He had some issues with his manager. But then also outside of the ring, him and his beautiful wife have been raising 3 boys, and he's been becoming a rabbi. So he spent 6 years dedicating his life to that. He has finally become a rabbi. Now he said, look, if I can come into this fight and take out Lara, that instantly puts me back into every single conversation for being a legitimate contender. So yes, it is a risky fight because Lara is such a high-level fighter. However, it's kind of the right play for Yuri Foreman as well, as opposed to just taking a bunch of smaller fights and seeing where he is. Let's just go for it.
Well, if he wins this fight, he'll be a unified champion.
Right.
So being in the conversation of contention to be over with.
Yeah.
He'll be
You're a champion.
Yeah, 2-belt champion. And he must know he's going to be hard-pressed to win a decision. So he's going to have to be aggressive as he came out in the 2nd round and maybe look to land something big on Lara.
In that 1st round, Jimmy, did you score it for Lara?
Had to go with Erislandy Lara. He was the dictator in there, landed some effective punches. Didn't throw a lot. We didn't see a ton of, what's going to happen later in the fight, but Yuri Foreman pretty quiet in that 1st round.
And again, we know that Lara can outbox pretty much anybody on the face of the earth right now, but can he get a guy out of there like Yuri Foreman, who we haven't seen in a minute? Can he put the combination together to hurt this guy and stop him inside the distance?
When we saw him last in PBC against Delvin Rodriguez, wipeout isn't strong enough of a word. There wasn't a competitive minute in that fight, and yet we saw the final bell. Delvin Rodriguez was in it till the end when I think he could have taken him out anytime after, let's say, the 5th or 6th round. He was landing some great shots. He's just not that kind of guy to take the risk. He needs to take the risk tonight. Oh, beautiful straight left. And that's something that people underestimate with Lara. He isn't a power puncher, but he lands a lot of power punches. He really active with that left hand 50-60% of the time he'll land it.
Round number 3 is coming up next. This is PBC on Spike.
Hey, let's go. Get him ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Round number 3 is underway. Yuri Foreman in the black trunks. Erislandy Lara is wearing the Cuban colors. And so far, 2 rounds to 0 for the champion.
Of course, that's unofficial, but the thing that we were looking for early is would Yuri Foreman get in there and kind of disrupt Lara, kind of make him uncomfortable, rough him around, get inside. Hasn't happened yet. This has been an outside game, which is exactly where Erislandy Lara wants his fight. part of the reason his connect rate is so high with that left hand is he's very judicious with it. He doesn't throw it a lot. He's content to use the lead hand, but when he throws that left hand, it's like a laser. I think in the Angulo fight, it was almost 60% of the time he landed it, which is, target practice he landed that much. He doesn't throw it that often.
He has great timing. Great timing.
Erislandy Lara has a large fan base here tonight. Obviously a strong Cuban population in the Miami area. He's actually fought here at Hialeah Park before. Came out victorious in that fight. And tonight, crowd really behind him. Now we just passed the halfway point here of round number 3. We were talking with Lara earlier. He said that his plan is to put the pressure on, make a statement, and he wants to stop him in 6 rounds.
Finally connecting there, catching Lara coming in.
Yuri Foreman's going to have to double up on that jab. He's not getting close enough. A double jab, triple jab might work for him.
Wow, they're calling that a knockdown.
Wow, didn't look like a knockdown at all.
Looked like a slip to me. It doesn't matter, ref called it a knockdown.
He definitely wasn't hurt with the punch. If a punch landed, I didn't see it.
Remember, Yuri Foreman has had knee trouble in the past. Had his ACL repaired. We saw against Cotto. He slipped, really hurt his knee. Corner actually threw in the towel in that fight. So he has to be careful. So far, it looks good.
And they're tied up here as round number 3 comes to a close, but round number 4 is on deck. PBC on Spike. We'll be right back. Now in our main event here, the referee called this a knockdown, but Jimmy, what are you seeing?
Look at the foot. It gets caught up and he slips. I do not think that was the result of a punch. He lands a couple punches, nothing super clean, nice left hand, but look at it here. Dragging the foot with his foot is what actually called the knockdown. I think that was a slip.
Round number 4 is underway, potential 12 rounds in this WBA Super Welterweight Champion. It's a big fight tonight for both of these fighters. Yuri Foreman again wants to spoil the party for Erislandy Lara. Lara in control right now.
Now Lara has made statements in the media about, I'm gonna knock guys out and become more of a finisher. I called the guy I call when I have a boxing question, Steve Farhood, and I said, Steve, who has started out in their career a technician and gotten to be a knockout puncher later on in their career? It happens the other way around sometimes. These fighters get older, they become more technical, they don't have the power anymore. I said, who started out a technician and became a knockout guy? And he goes, well, Tommy Hearns in the amateurs, not known as a knockout guy, was in the pros. He said Juan Manuel Marquez became more of a knockout puncher later in his career. Those are the only 2 examples.
So there's 2
Farhood
people on the
can
list,
think of it. And if Farhood can't think of it,
right.
I don't know if they exist, but 2 on his list, it's pretty rare that a guy who starts out as a technician becomes a knockout puncher later on. These are the kind of questions I call Steve Farhood with. About dinner time, he always answers me. Always, doesn't matter.
He answered the call and he said, let me call you back because I want to think on it for a moment.
He did.
Thought about it for a while, called you back about an hour and a half later, and then sure enough, you only had 2 people on the list.
There you go.
A lot of times when fighters are coming up, they're young, they're youthful, but when the age kick in, they start sitting down on their punches a little bit, delivering more with solid power shots. With Marquez, it was that way.
Yeah.
He didn't have the energy to run around like he did when he was 130 pounds.
Oh boy, that was definitely a knockdown. Lara caught him coming in, and Foreman is hurt bad. This could be the end. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. The champ retains his belt, gets a victory tonight. Round number 4, he puts away Yuri Foreman.
And what were you talking about? Sitting down on a perfect, accurate shot. That's what he just did,
I'll tell you what, if he put 1 or 2 more of these together, it'll be hard-pressed for any of the superstars to avoid this guy.
And the fans will be asking for it because of this.
Taking a look here at the action, perfectly timed. Coming in and rips him with an uppercut, and that was all she wrote for Foreman.
Man, look at the timing on that shot. Unbelievable. Legs go out from under him, and Lara knew this was the end. The referee just told us he counted 10.
And you know what was so devastating about that punch? It was hidden. He didn't even see that coming. It ripped it up. He hit it behind his shoulder and ripped it up. And Foreman didn't see that punch coming.
And look how he catches Yuri Foreman, fully extended. Bam! Right on the chin, and Erislandy, he's looking at the crowd. He knows this is one and done. He said he'd deliver before round 6. He was accurate.
And Foreman, to his credit, was doing everything in his power to try to get back to his feet. Legs just weren't there. As the referee said to us just a moment ago, he counted all the way to 10. He gave him his fair opportunity to recover. Did not happen. Erislandy Lara, a huge knockout shot in round number 4. And the champ is standing in the ring right now, covered in belts. Let's take over to Ray Flores for the official announcement of the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 47 seconds of the 4th round. For your winner by knockout and still the super welterweight champion, Erislandy, the American Dream, Lara.
Ok, vamos aquí, perdón. Una, dale.
And let's take it to Jimmy Smith in the ring with the winner. Standing by with Erislandy Lara right now.
I'm here with your winner, the American Dream, Erislandy Lara. You promised a knockout before the 6th round. The 6th round, how does it feel to deliver?
Me dijiste que ya noquearlo antes del 6. ¿Cómo te sientes hacer eso delante de la gente aquí?
Primero que nada, quiero darle el apoyo. Gracias por todo a mis cubanos que vinieron a apoyarme. Y yo lo prometí y lo cumplí.
He said, first, I want to thank all my Cuban fans that came out. I promised I'd do it, and I did it.
You talk about the big names, the guys in this division, guys at middleweight that don't want a piece of me because they don't think I'm exciting, I don't think I get the knockout. That was a message to them. What's your message in words to the rest of the division?
Toda la gente siempre tiene excusa no pelear contigo. Ahora señalaste a todo el mundo que puede noquear a cualquiera. ¿Quién tú quieres en la próxima pelea?
En la próxima pelea queremos pelear con los mejores de la división. Yo estoy cansado de decir los nombres. Yuri Foreman, queremos Canelo Álvarez de nuevo y Andrade, así que estamos listos.
He says, you know, he just wants to fight the best in the world. You know, he's tired of mentioning names. They know who they are. Golovkin, Canelo, Andrade, the best. We want to fight the best.
The American Dream, that's your nickname, is to come from nothing and be the best in the world. What does he have to say to this crowd, to the fans about the American Dream?
El sueño americano, veniste de nada de Cuba, ahora está aquí. ¿Qué tú necesitas decirle a la gente aquí?
Primero que nada, estoy muy contento por los logros que he tenido aquí. Mi nombre es American Dream porque he cumplido mi sueño gracias a mi familia, a mi esposa y a mi equipo, a mi team. Y también quiero darle muchas felicidades a Luis de Cuba, Father, que es su cumpleaños hoy. Esta pelea se la dedico a él.
He says, first off, he just wants to thank all the Cuban fans for coming. He wants to thank his wife, Yuri, all his fans, all his kids, everybody. And he says he wants to special give thanks to my father. It's his birthday today. He dedicates this fight to him for his birthday.
Well, happy birthday. That's a great knockout. Let's give it up for the American Dream, Erislandy Lara, ladies and gentlemen.